people and magic makers. Destiny here on this magical Monday. We are talking about money and guilt. Wah, wah, wah. All right, so as you know, every Monday I come at you with a mindset video. Today's video is going to be about money and guilt and how we can get past that, and quite honestly, why we want to. So here's the deal, there is a lot that we are taught to feel towards money. And one of the big major concepts is guilt and how we feel guilty about money. For some people, there's a guilt of not having enough money. Like if they did have more, they could do all these things. There are some that have quite a bit of money and they feel guilty about that. So the guilt about having the success of money. But most people have this strange yet warranted, because again, we were taught this, and not just by our parents, but by society and culture as a whole. But we are taught to feel guilty about having credit card debt, by getting like late fees in our bank account, right? Like they're letting you know that your bank account was overdrawn. Sometimes it's that maybe somebody owed us money, or we did something and maybe we didn't have a contract in place and we were owed money, and then it wasn't given to you, right? So somebody broke their agreement with you. Or sometimes you have money, maybe you loan it out and there's supposed to be a repayment and they just don't repay you. Or sometimes there's an investment that you make and you think it's a very wise investment, then it turns out that it's not, and like it's taken away from you, right? So all of this guilt gets piled up, and what happens is all of those bullshit stories that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, on top, like those bullshit stories get planted in there, right? And then we basically exacerbate them with all of this guilt. And honestly, guilt is like great big piles of poo, right? And so we're fertilizing all of those bullshit stories with all of this guilt. And so now we get to this point where, one, we don't trust ourselves with money, and two, money doesn't trust itself with us. Okay? So we got to get back in agreement here with money. Okay? The first thing that needs to be done is all of that guilt needs to get gone. Okay? It does not serve you, it does not help you, it does not support you. All it's doing is feeding into and fertilizing the bullshit stories that we learned from mom, dad, when we were kids, aunt, uncles, whoever it was back then. Okay? So it's not helping us in any way. The guilt is just exacerbating the situation that we're already in. So first thing, release all that guilt, okay? Let it all go. Come to terms with all of the things that, yes, did happen, and then how can you let that go? Get that out of you, get that off of your mind, whether that's, journaling, writing it down, telling the story, whatever it is, right? I did a video last year about credit card debt. At the time, I was over $50,000 in credit card debt, and it was just like it weighs down on you, right? Like it's heavy and it just feels icky. And what I realized through the help of one of my friends is that all of the credit cards that I have got me something, right? I remember I purchased like a ticket to go and see Gabriel Iglesias, right, or Jeff Dunham. They were coming over here to Colorado, and so like they brought me the opportunity to have some joy and some laughter with my husband and friends, right? They got you things, trainings, tools for my business. They got me the things that I needed to move forward, right? And so I started to realize, like, okay, yes, this is a really big debt. I don't have to agree to get more. But the debt that I did create and I did have got me things that I wanted. Okay, so like all of a sudden the guilt started kind of lifting off. So start looking at ways that you can do that for yourself with guilt and money, because the thing that money wants is to know that you're going to take care of it. right? And that you're going to do the things that you say you're going to do with it. So if you can personify money and make it like a person, you're making an agreement with money. You got to keep it. You got to keep that agreement. Otherwise, money is very much like a kid, where it's like, well, you didn't do what you say, so now I don't like you anymore, right? So you got to like be really careful about what you're agreeing with and stick to it. Because when you do, money's like, okay, yeah, she said that she was going to do this and this with the money that we sent her way, and then she did it. We can give her more. We can trust her. We can trust him, right? They're gonna treat us the way we need to be treated, so that we can have a flow, an open flow with money. Okay. When it comes to like the money that's not given to you or is taken away from you, come to terms with that. What can you do, right? Very similar to the bullshit story work that I do. It's not about getting rid of it. It's about coming to terms and being friends with it, because it was put there for a reason. Okay. And when you can control it instead of it controlling you, you have mastery of self and leadership of self. That's where you want to go. Okay. So now you do that with money as well. Okay. Look at all of the times where you were supposed to be given money or money was taken away from you. What do you need to put in place so that that doesn't happen again? So now you are protected in the future, and money goes, oh, they learned from that lesson. So instead of stopping the flow, money's going to be like, all right, let's open up a little bit, and like, let's make sure they've got the contracts in place. Maybe that's what it'll take. They've got the agreement. They've got clear, designated deadlines and all of that. Like, they will take care of us. That's ultimately what money wants, is to be taken care of and to know that you're going to be responsible with it. Okay. So get rid of all of this bullshit money guilt. It does not serve you. And so when you do that, you open the doors to have more flow. Then, when you get everything else that we've talked about over the past month or so involved, it's just all forward moving from there, right? Which is why I'm so thrilled and so stoked that I have a wait list going for my upcoming money class, so that you can make more money now and do it your way. That's so important, right? We see all of these people out there, oh, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. And then when you buy their program, which adds to some of the credit card debt, then it's like it doesn't quite work for you. It'll work for you, for the way that you operate, for the way that you flow, right? So if you would like to get on that wait list, what I know now is that we're going to have about an hour of work that you would need to do over the course of a week. The assignment will be sent out to you on like a Monday, and then we'll have a group call either on Thursday or Friday, and we're going to be like talking about it. We'll figure out those dates once we know who we've got on there and we know more of the people on the call. But we're going to just like break down everything that we've already been talking about, but dive in so much deeper, right? Like taking a really deep dive into this and putting all of the pieces together. So it's not all separate, and we're going to wrap it all up in a nice little bow for you to take with you, so that you can bust through all of these things and make more money now. Not a year from now, not 5 years from now, now, okay? Because you deserve it. And we need more people making more money so that we can do the things that need to be done in our world, okay? That is what is important. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put the waitlist link down below. I'll put it in the description as well as in the comments, and then that way you can sign up if that sounds good to you so far. This is just, it keeps coming to me in these beautiful downloads, so it just gets better and better as I'm putting the package together. So right now, like, I'm working on all of that, but it's like so far so good. I'm like, holy crap, this is going to be amazing. Okay, so look at where you feel guilt about money, okay, where you don't want to feel that anymore. Reconcile that for yourself, all right? And if you would like to join the waitlist, go ahead and click the link that I'm going to add in below, and we will talk to you next week. Until then, peace.